All right, boys and girls, we got the Circa football contest and survivor contest video. What we're gonna do every week is I'm gonna put out my entry for the $1 million football contest as well as the survivor contest. Give you guys a little bit of background how the contest works. So the $1 million football contest, basically for NFL, you have to pick 5 spreads every week for the entire season. So that's 18 weeks times 5 picks a week. You're making 90 picks overall in the entire NFL season. The spreads, they're released on Thursday morning and the spreads are fixed. So whatever movement happens after that, doesn't matter. The spreads are fixed as of Thursday morning. Got to pick 5 spreads every week, and first place is going to get themselves a cool $1 million. So it's probably the most popular contest right now for football handicapping. I know Westgate has their own contest. I believe that's $1,500 a pop. And then they have a gold one that's $5,000 entry as well. And so it's a super popular contest. Just to kind of give you guys some background, to win this contest, you probably have to get about 68% right. That's what's going to take to get the win. So you have to get probably around 60, 61 correct picks out of 90. And everyone's like, oh, that sounds easy. I can do that. I can get 30 wrong. No, handicapping is not easy, guys. 68% is very, very tough. But yeah, that's what it's going to take to win. So I'm going to go over my picks, and then I'll go over my survivor pick, and I'll get into the survivor contest as well. And just the background, the survivor contest, basically all you got to do is pick one team to win every week. It doesn't matter the spread. You just pick a team that's to win every week, and once you use that team, you cannot use that team again. That's it. Like, you can only use every team once. And in the Circa survivor contest, basically, you have to pick on Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. So there's a total of 18 weeks plus Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and then plus Christmas. So there's 20 total picks that you have to make throughout the season, and you can only use, once again, every team once. And so you have to be very, very strategic with picking. You can't just week by week, oh, I like this game, and that's it. Like, you have to plan ahead, especially for Thanksgiving. Here's a big tip. For Thanksgiving and Christmas Day, you got to mark at least 2 teams on each of those weekends that you're not going to play all season, because you're going to need them for those two days. And so that's key. If you don't do that, you're almost handicapping yourself to not even have a chance. So that's very key. Super juicy. The survivor contest, I think it's guaranteed at $10 million. $10 million guaranteed for first place, or if 3 people will get chopped 3 ways, 2 ways, it can get chopped 4 ways. It just depends. So it's a juicy, juicy contest. The survivor's $1,000 buy-in, and so is the $1 million football contest, $1,000 buy-in. And they do allow multiple entries if you want to, have a few bullets, but it's not easy, but getting some insight does help. So once again, every week I'm going to put out a video, and I'm going to give you guys my picks for the $1 million contest and the survivor. Once the survivor contest, if I don't roll it out all the way, meaning if I lose, then that's probably going to be it. I'm not going to continue with the survivor picks. Maybe I'll throw out my opinion just to give people some info. But all right, let's get started, boys and girls. All right, game 1. I got Baltimore at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are -3. I like Baltimore here. I think they're out for revenge. I think they should have won in the conference championship, and I think +3 is too much for them, and so maybe you get a push at +3, but I like Baltimore to win, and so I'm taking Baltimore +3. All right, game 2. I got the Green Bay Packers at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are a 2-point favorite. Look, Green Bay played well in the playoffs. They put a spanking on Dallas. I think they're an up-and-coming team, especially if Love continues. But I think Philly just kind of had a down year. I think they regrouped this summer, and I like them to play well. And I think they're at home here, -2. easy one. I'm taking Philadelphia -2. All right, game 3. We got the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. The Texans are a 2.5-point favorite on the road. I think Texans are better than they were last year. They added Diggs. Tank Dell is going to be healthy. I think Indy is going to regress because Gardner Minshew was pretty solid. He was serviceable at QB. And now they got Richardson, who could end up being a better quarterback, has definitely the potential, looked good in the 2 games he played last year, but this is basically his rookie season all over again, and I think just Texans are a better team. And so I'm taking Houston -2.5. All right, game 4, Tennessee at Chicago. The Bears are a 4-point favorite at home. I mean, Tennessee, they're starting Will Levis. They moved on from Derrick Henry. He's with Baltimore now. I've said this all along. I think Will Levis is going to be the biggest bust. I have no faith in Will Levis at all, especially after the shenanigans he pulled leading up to the draft. So I don't trust Will Levis. Don't buy him. He's going to be a backup or out of the league in a few years. Chicago, they got Caleb Williams, #1 overall pick out of USC. They got the weapons. They added, Swift. They had DJ Moore. They drafted the wide receiver out of Washington, Odunze. I think they acquired Keenan Allen. So they got a lot of weapons. And I like Chicago. I think Caleb Williams is the real deal. I think he's going to come out. He's going to perform. And so I'm taking Chicago -4. All right, game 5. We got the New York Jets at the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners, 4.5-point favorites. The Jets, obviously the big storyline. Aaron Rodgers returning from the Achilles injury. Really don't know what to expect from him. He hasn't played in a long time. So I really don't know what to expect. I mean, obviously they're a better team. They added Mike Williams. They still got Garrett Wilson, Bryce Hall. So they're a Breece Hall. They got, so they got a good team. Their defense is good, but they're on the road here. San Francisco, almost 2 minutes away from winning the Super Bowl. They're returning all their players. News broke that Trent Williams got an extension, so he will be playing. They're healthy. Ayuk got signed. They're at home, and I think this is all hyped on. The reason why this is not 6.5 is because of the Aaron Rodgers factor, but I'm not buying it. I think San Francisco at home, 4.5. I like this easy. So I'm taking San Francisco -4.5. So those are my 5 picks for the $1 Million Football Contest. Every week we'll update the record and we'll continue on for all 18 weeks, trying to get to 62 wins. That's the goal, 62 wins out of 90. For the Survivor pick, it's tough. Week 1 is always tough. And once again, you have to be very strategic to be able to run 20 weeks here. So I'm going to roll with the Denver at Seattle game. I think Denver is going to be horrible this year. I'm not buying Bo Nix at all. I don't know what happened and why they decided to draft him so early, but they're just desperate. Really desperate. If I was them, I would have just rolled with Zach Wilson and let him, give him the keys and see what happens. But I don't trust Bo Nix. I think this team is going to be really bad. Seattle, I think, is a little bit underrated. I mean, they still got Metcalf, Lockett, Jackson and Jigba. They got Walker, Charbonnet at running back. Geno Smith has played pretty solid. They got obviously Pete Carroll is out at coach, and Seattle's at home, and they just have to win. So I'm taking Seattle as my Survivor pick for Week 1, the Seahawks, and see you next week for Week 2.